from the Workplace Ninja Summit in Baden. Smart talks, sharp insights, and stories worth sharing. This is the Workplace Ninja podcast.
Good morning, day 2 of Workplace Ninja Summit in Baden 2025. And we already did a recording with, you wasn't there.
I wasn't invited for that one.
No.
You're always invited.
That's just an excuse.
Yeah. We did already a recording on Global Secure Access, but we have Talal on the table. He had done the keynote this morning about Windows. So let's talk about that. My name is Frans Oudendorp, and I have with me...
I'm Haja Dalawal.
And Mirko
Kolenberg.
Also joining.
Yes.
Try to have some questions for Talal.
So I'm really excited because Talal is my former colleague. I worked directly with him in the same team, right? It's so amazing to have you with us.
Well, I love the partnership with you, Harjit. I love being here. Thank you, first of all, for all our hosts for having us in this beautiful city in Baden. This is my second Ninja, and I'm loving every bit of it. So I'm hoping that we get to do more of these in the near future too.
Yeah. And Talal, what is your role within Microsoft?
I manage the marketing team for Intune and management, so I work very closely with the Windows team because we're basically the same team for Windows Enterprise and Windows Cloud. So I work very closely with my colleagues that manage the Windows business, and this morning I had the pleasure of representing our Windows business.
Nice. If I'm looking at one of the topics that covers in the keynote was 50 years of Microsoft and Windows.
Yes, I hope it was fun in the morning.
It was.
Oh, absolutely.
It was.
I like the gamification in the keynote session. That's
exactly.
amazing.
I was just telling him that before the podcast, that it was nice to have him start with the history of Windows. Yeah. Like, wait, who used 1.0, right? Kind of a thing.
I had a lot of fun doing it. I had even a lot of fun planning it because I had a lot. I knew the audience here is a tough audience because they're deeply technical. Yeah. The good news is that I'm an engineer by background and education. So it's like, how nerdy should I go in the questions?
That's great. That's great.
On Windows and the history of Windows. But I had a lot of fun organizing and doing that this morning.
And the gamification. That was fun. It was nice and short, you know.
Yeah.
Got people all excited.
I never know that the Windows 2.0 version was existing. I was surprised by that question.
Yeah. Neither did I. So what I did is that, like, my first introduction to Windows would be good to, like, maybe even hear all of us, like, when were you introduced to Windows?
Yeah.
My first introduction to Windows, I was in high school and it was 3.1.
Yes.
I remember
3.1,
very vividly,
yes.
right? So I was a big DOS user. I learned it in like self-learning, to be honest with you. I did a lot of basic language programming and then got intrigued with Windows and the opportunity that it presented even before going to college. So my first introduction was Windows 3.1. I've never seen or worked on any prior version of that.
Yeah. Right.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
My first thing was playing solitaire on 3.1.
3.11, the version after that one. When you reflect on 50 years of Microsoft and the evolution of Windows, what do you think were the most pivotal moments that shaped that platform?
Great question. As I was talking this morning, I think Windows has two sides to it. So there is the user and the productivity part of it. So that is one. And I think 3.1 brought a lot of that with the usage of like Office on Windows at the time. Word and Excel really transformed the way where we're all as users using productivity tools to write a document or to do your math or to do your accounting. But that is one side. So I would say as a user, 3.1 and that experience with Office and Windows together definitely was the biggest milestone in my opinion. The second for us as IT admins and pros was absolutely networking. The fact that now you can connect several devices and have them work together and share files, and it just was a big paradigm shift in all businesses and enterprises. Think about that, because now you're not only a user, how do you secure it? How do you make it work together? How do you manage it? So that introduction expanded the boundaries. Well, you need to care about Windows now, not just as a user, but then to fulfill all the organizational promises that it's supposed to bring to any organization.
Like commercial side and enterprise side, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting you talked about collaboration. I'm thinking more like, when I got my first computer, decent computer, it came with 14.4 baud modem, right? The dial-up, and then you went and got the CD. Oh, I'm gonna go internet with AOL, and right? And then the collaboration or the connection with your friends was through gaming, right? You dialed each other to play games like Duke Nukem or something like that, right? And then look at where we are now. It's
that's definitely another milestone. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't a big gamer growing up, but that's definitely something big.
yeah.
The Windows OS has transformed during the years. It's now described as cloud-powered, AI-enabled. What does that mean in practical terms of organizations and end users?
Great question. We also talked about it today. I think also the IT admin will see a lot more of that. So in terms of cloud connected and cloud powered, things like Intune and Entra and the fact that it is like, this is what Jason was talking about yesterday, please become cloud native, because then you can experience all the goodness and benefits and really compound that benefits with the things that we can do from the cloud that you will never be able to do from a company data center or on your own smaller environment. So taking advantage of the cloud power, the cloud capacity, resiliency, reliability, this is what we mean. So like, for example, all the security signals that you get with Entra, with Defender, the fact that you can manage all of that now from Intune just brings in a different dimension of security, manageability, and reliability that were not possible just mere few years ago.
Yeah.
Talking about security and resilience, there are big themes within Windows, definitely. What is the most significant advancement that a customer should know?
We touched on that slightly this morning with the Windows Resiliency Initiative. I would say the philosophy that I want us in the IT domain to walk away with is that endpoints now should be what we call a dial tone service. You should have the discussion with your decision makers in any organization, CFOs, CTOs, because they make those decisions. Every company, especially large enterprise companies, have something called what's the strategic asset that we have in the company that should be protected at all costs, should be functional at all costs. So I hope that we evolve the endpoints and Windows devices to be at that caliber of strategic asset and label it with that dial tone label. And to us, when we say dial tone, as legacy as this sounds, you think about it like traditionally in the old days when we had like phone landlines at home, you pick up the phone handle before even the cell phones, and there is always a dial tone. So your endpoint, your device should always be available or running, and when incidents happen, you should have a quick way to recover and bring that device or user to become productive very, very quickly. Because that downtime impacts the user, it impacts the business, it impacts the customer that is trying to connect with you or do business with you. So there is a ripple effect of that downtime. It's not just about that one user is not able to function. So hopefully with that Windows Resiliency Initiative that we were talking about today, is that you get to think of resiliency as something that is proactive to prevent incidents from happening. And when they do happen, that you have a way to recover very quickly.
But this is the beauty of Windows 365, right? I mean, that's the capacity it's got now, where you are quickly able to flip over and function productively with, while your environment or your systems are being taken care of. I think that they just came up with a new Windows 365 offering.
Reserve. It's Windows 365 Reserve.
Right, exactly. For that, right?
What's that?
It's called Windows 365 Reserve. So Phil talked about it this morning. I touched on it slightly on the Windows Resiliency Initiative that we talked about. So Harjit, you're absolutely right. So Windows 365 endpoints on their own. So if your primary desktop environment is in Windows 365, that's the most resilient thing that you can do. So this is, I would say, at the top of the pyramid, because now it's all in the cloud, it's all backed up, that you can recover quickly. It is a managed VDI environment for you. So this is where all the goodness will shine. But now, let's say that you have a device on your own, like your laptop or your desktop at a bank or a government organization or non-profit, and that device gets stolen or corrupted or broke, something happened to it. We have an offering now where it's called Windows 365 Reserve, where temporarily you can basically provision and have available very quickly a cloud PC that is basically running on Windows 365 to get you up to speed and to get you productive very quickly, therefore reducing the downtime for the end user while we know what's wrong with your device, or we get you a new device or recover your device, all the above.
It's not a permanent fix, but it's a temporary offering.
Yes.
So it just gets you up and started so you can continue doing your work, and business can continue as well without interruption.
And you can jump in if you bring your own device.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
If anything goes wrong, you can bring your own laptop or computer at home for remote work and just connect and be productive again.
And along the same lines of Windows 365, the new offering is Cloud Apps. Now you can just stream apps. Right?
I'm not the most expert on that, so if you want to talk about it, Harjit,
No, I just read a little bit about it. It's basically like, instead of having your full desktop, right, from Windows 365, you use Windows 365 just for the apps alone. So you're using your own device, but you're just accessing apps. Things like that.
Streaming your business critical applications pretty fast. So get back to productive for the end user, for your employees.
I think we have a separate recording on the Windows 365 app streaming.
Okay.
Have a look on our channels to see when that's coming up.
But the whole thing, I think, every little stone has to recover the resilience.
Windows resiliency.
This is where the thinking has to evolve to be more of a strategic system of connected things and aspects. Like what we were talking about today, we're working very closely with our partners in the ecosystem, for example, the antivirus vendors and companies, and how they can write applications that do not impact the kernel if something happens. So that is one aspect of it. The other aspect is more of guided assistance and education to all of us in the IT domain on how to think about resiliency as a system, as opposed to one thing that you would do, or a process or an operation on how to recover. And the third one is innovation deep in the product that we're making in Windows to make it recover quicker or prevent failures. There are a few examples. I think one of them is using AI, where it can block untrusted codes or suspect apps before they actually even reach to the endpoint, and policy enforcement together with Intune, right? So this is a multi-dimensional way of thinking or system of thinking to apply resiliency to Windows and the IT environment in the enterprise.
Yesterday we talked about the enterprise backup feature that's part of Intune. Is that more or less the same? Is that integrated in each other?
It's all part of that, yes. It's all part of that thinking, absolutely.
So Talal, Intune is your bread and butter. You're the Intune guy. So talk to us about Intune. What can we expect in the near future in terms of development? I know you can't talk about NDA stuff, but in general, like what those that are not on Intune yet and they're still kind of like, should we go and all that? Where's the future with this? And
it's a great question. I would say this: if you're not in Intune yet, the overwhelming majority of our enterprise customers have licenses to use Intune. So don't underestimate the advantage of moving to cloud native and managing your devices from the cloud with Intune and with Entra and with Defender and the deep integration that it offers. And the way that I say it, Harjit, is like this. My first introduction to device management was literally with SMS 2.0 beta 1. It was more than 20 years ago.
The disaster version.
Enough said. I'm a Microsoft employee. I can't say that, but you're free. I'll give you the mic, the physical mic to describe it. I remember those days very vividly. But think about it. As stable as that had become later with Config Manager and all of that, this is now where we live in the age of AI, the age of cloud, are considered legacy architecture. And you may think that there is nothing wrong with that, but think about it, on how much the threat vectors and the attack surfaces have expanded and grow so rapidly. With that way of thinking, that legacy architecture
they use
just
AI as well.
cannot keep up with the way that we did things 15, 20 years ago. So I would say moving to cloud native right now is merely a necessity. I don't think it's optional anymore.
You don't have a choice, really. You should.
You should think about it, or like what is the way to take advantage of AI, of cloud, represented with Intune, Entra, and Defender, where like security is our foremost step. And in that thinking or in that process. So to answer your question, Harjeet, AI is the chapter that we're all navigating now. It's transforming everything from our daily lives, from driving on the street or the way that
I was going to ask you about AI, so I'm glad you're hitting that.
Because you asked about Intune and where we're going, and definitely AI is the flagship theme, I would say, in all the innovation where we're putting in Intune. So I'm happy about what we've introduced, and we're just scratching the surface with Intune and Copilot and the scenarios that it does in both discovery, assistance, answering questions, but also agents and autonomous workflows.
I think assistant is a very important thing. I just joined a Leo session, the first 15 minutes, and he talked about find people that are enough skilled to do the job. And AI helps you to make the half of those processes go through and just approve it, think. And you don't have to hire another skilled people because the market is
we talked
very
about
hard.
that too.
I think that helps the most with AI at the moment, like running run prompts or whatever, make your life easier as an administrator.
You know what this reminds me of? The era that we're in as you're talking, Mirko. We said assistance, we said agents, we said discovery, but those are the scenarios that we know of today. There is still the unknown on how you can leverage the power of AI in IT and management that basically comes naturally from people like the people that were in the room this morning, right? It reminds me of like when the internet was open. We were just talking about history here in dial-up, Harjeet. Remember when the internet was open, people were thinking, I can read an advertisement or I can read the news, but they didn't know you can actually interact with it. You didn't know you can buy stuff with it, or chat with each other, or have a video audio conference. And e-commerce was born.
No one knew
in
that.
In the 90s, nobody knew that. In the 80s, we were not thinking of internet to do e-commerce or electronic payments and all that. So say with AI today, all of us are just scratching the surface to identify what else can it do tomorrow. So there is this unknown that like basically part of the cycle of innovation that happens is like we don't know how you're going to use AI tomorrow.
We are really living in exciting times right now. Exciting times. There's more to come, not only just in endpoint management and things like that, but in our day-to-day lives
Absolutely.
too, right?
Yeah,
it's just phenomenal.
I agree.
I'm a bit doubting if I would ask this question because
maybe don't ask it.
If we look forward, we don't know because there is so much that is probably coming up that we don't know. You explained it a few seconds ago. But what do we see with the relationship between Windows, cloud, AI on the longer term, in your opinion?
We just talked about it. Like I said, there is a lot that we're looking at now in terms of transforming Windows to be the OS of AI, to be an agentic OS. And you will hear more things in Ignite about what we're doing. So the things that are public today is our support for Model Context Protocol, so MCP, and making that native. So both first-party and third-party AI applications and agents can interact with the operating system naturally but securely as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is very, very important now, and this is just the foundation. So now I would say is a huge milestone for transforming Windows at its core to be an AI OS and what that means for the future. So we're laying down the first foundational aspects of the agentic OS with MCP in Windows, and that does, again, like we started this discussion with, both for you as the user with Copilot, but also for the IT admin and what it means to manage the fleet with AI moving forward, but also for the vast ecosystem of partners that build applications for Windows.
Fantastic.
I can
love
wait.
what you said.
I can't wait for the time I order an Uber and it will pick me up without anybody driving it, and I just say, hey, I have to be there at 10 o'clock. Bring me.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And all AI driven.
Yeah.
That's
I love everything you've been saying. I've learned a lot too. Seriously, just listening
Thank
to
you.
like mention all the things, you hit all the points, and it's fabulous.
I have one last question.
Oh my God.
Always.
Okay.
You're looking at Harjeet, so I hope it's for Harjeet.
No. Yeah, maybe Harjeet can answer that question as well. And the favorite Intune or Windows innovation of all time. What's your favorite?
Oh, it's a big
Harjeet.
one.
Intune integration?
Oh, no, Intune or Windows innovation.
Okay, Windows, I love the accessibility features in Windows 11. I mean, it's just fantastic. And not just for disabled people, but it's for everyone, right? Closed caption, now you got live translations, it's just amazing, and they continue to put in more and more and more development into it. It's become, now you just can't live without it. You know, that's one of my favorites.
Mirko, do you have one?
Mine in Intune is EPM.
Aha.
I can't wait that no one on the planet is anymore in local admin.
Yeah, definitely.
Talal?
That will change.
I may have recency bias, but it is definitely now Copilot and Intune and the new scenarios that it is unlocking for Intune to just simplify the life cycle of endpoint management and take it to the next level. I'm really excited about that. And then for Windows, might be controversial, it's not one thing, but I'll say this. The reliability that I personally have in using Windows, and like I said, I open my laptop and it just works, and it works every time I want it to work, and the impact it will have on me if it doesn't. So that reliability, I would say, is the biggest aspect of Windows that no one talks about. Because we're all human. You only complain about it when it doesn't work. You don't give it enough credits when it actually does work.
Yeah.
So for example, when was the last time you picked up the phone and called your help desk or IT admin and say, thank you for having my Windows running today?
That's a long time ago that I did that.
Yeah.
Right? So I do take the point about, like, this is like our jobs, and many aspects of it are thankless jobs, because when it is running, you don't hear a thank you.
No.
You only hear when it is not working or something breaks. So the fact that it's the massive investment in reliability in Windows over the past decade, I would say, is the biggest thing that I love about Windows now.
Yeah. And you?
More basically, the MDM functionality within Intune, so basic functionality of Intune, so I can manage every Windows Mac system nowadays from the cloud without any on-prem footprint. That's basically what our work does, and what we are helping customers with.
Yeah.
So that's basically the thing that I love. The new thing that is presented this week or last week that's coming out is the enterprise backup feature. So that I go to the store, buy a new device, and then instantly from a end user experience, that it's more or less the same as my old device when I'm logged on. I really love that feature.
And can I end this with one last question, and then we call it done?
Yeah.
Okay, Talal, as a community reporter, I got to do this.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, what's the plug for Workplace Ninja Summit? Why Workplace Ninja Summit?
Oh, great question. When I got here last year, I didn't know what to expect. But the plug for me is that this is the forum where I get to hear an unfiltered view from our best users and communities on what they want, what they don't like, what they want us to go and invest time and energy on. Whether it is business models, licensing, product innovation, product features, they give us you really get a view of what our customers are asking us to invest in. So it's giving me a really good vantage point from that perspective. So yes, I'm coming again next year, hopefully.
Excellent.
So if you are listening or viewing with us, you know why you need to buy a ticket. And by the end of the week, when we're opening the ticket sale for next year, probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the reason that you need to be here next year. So Talal, thanks for joining.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing a pretty significant crew from Microsoft to Workplace Ninja Summit.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
And with this recording comes to an end with this. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening, viewing into this recording. We will up with another recording about Sentinel Data Lake. That's the next one that will come up after some community stage sessions that will be presented as well. Take a look at our channels. I say until next time. Thank you.
Thanks for joining the Workplace Ninja Podcast. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep sharpening your ninja skills. Until next time.